name is Jolene Philo, and I am the author of The Caregiver's Notebook. It is, as the subtitle says, an organizational tool and support to help you care for others. This is the first episode in a how-to series to help you know how to fill out the Caregiver's Notebook. It's pretty thick, it's pretty big, it can be a little bit intimidating. So every week, for the next several weeks, I'm going to be posting a new episode each week that goes along with one section of the Caregiver's Notebook. Today, I'm just going to introduce the notebook to you and tell you a little bit about how it's organized and why I wrote it and who it's for, so you can decide if you want to order a copy and tune in for the rest of the series. The purpose of this notebook is just what the subtitle says. It is to help you stay organized all those papers and information that goes along with caring for someone you love, and it's also a support for you. So much of our time when we're caring for a loved one is devoted to them and their needs and meeting their needs, and it's very easy for a caregiver and the people around the caregiver to forget that that person is human too and needs as much support and encouragement as the person with a disability or a chronic illness or a terminal illness, whatever it may be. This notebook is for all types of caregivers. It doesn't matter if you're the parent of a child, if you are a spouse to someone with a disability or an illness, if you are caring for aging parents, or if you're a healthy adult and you just want to get everything organized so that if something would happen to you, your loved ones could find everything they need about you and make that transition period of becoming your caregiver a little bit easier for them. It's also nice for you even if you just stay healthy always. I just had my physical, and if I had had my notebook then and had it all filled out, I could have easily told the doctor what my medications were and anything else that needed to be communicated without scratching my head and saying, well, I think the name of that medicine is, but I'm not sure and I have no idea what the dosage is. So that would have helped a lot. So this notebook is for anybody who wants to be prepared for caregiving or is already an active caregiver. Now the structure of the notebook is pretty simple. I'm going to show you quickly the contents. Hope you can see that. I'll hold it here for a minute so you can see. There are several sections to this notebook, and as you can see, each text section begins with a tab to make it easier for you to find. They're easily visible because they're well labeled. And I'm just going to read through, in case you weren't a speed reader or didn't have your magnifying glass to see what those sections were in that table of contents. I'm just going to read through what the sections are very quickly. The first one is how to use the Caregiver Notebook. Just a general outline, an introduction of what it's for. There's a section for emergency information. We'll be looking at that more thoroughly next time in our next episode. Then there is a calendar section. There's a section for contacts, a section for notes, one for medications, one for medical information, one for insurance information. There is a section for legal documents, another one for routines and schedules. There is a section that you don't have to fill out, but it is just loaded with resources for you, whether you're caring for an adult or a child. There are general resources and resources specific to children and adults. There is a Bible reading plan, if you want that. And there are some prayer guides, some 30-day prayer guides. We'll talk about those more in the future too. Then there's a glossary of terms, many of them used in the book. Just in case you aren't sure what they mean, you can flip back there and find out. And then there is a little page about other organizational systems that you might want to tap into. And those organizational systems actually are going to be housed here on a page at differentdream.com. And so you can go there and look for things that maybe if they're not everything, of course, will fit in this notebook. So if you have a child, for example, who's has an IEP. There will be some organizational systems for that and other kinds of organizational systems that you might be interested in too. For example, financial things, which I didn't really house in this notebook because the purpose of this notebook is to go with you and your loved ones to appointments, hospital stays. If like my mother who lives with my brother but sometimes visits me or my sister, this notebook could go along with her there so that we could look up medications or anything else we need to know. But I didn't really feel comfortable having a section for all this financial information, which, you know, is more confidential. So the resource section will have information about that. So those are the sections of the book. Let me tell you a little bit about how each section is laid out. At the beginning of each section, before the tabbed page, you will find a devotional excerpt. I gotta find one now. There it is. You'll find a little devotional excerpt, and the excerpts come from several books, devotional books for caregivers that were published by Discovery House Publishers, also the publisher of this book. So some of the authors that you'll hear from are me. I have excerpts in there from both of my books for parents of kids with special needs. Shelley Beach, who did a lot of caring for her elderly parents, has some, and Wendy Wallace has some excerpts in there. She has a chronic illness herself, and so she writes from that perspective. So each section, as I said, begins with a devotional excerpt. Many of them then, as you can see right down here at the bottom, that is an inspirational quote from Helen Keller that says, "Although the world is full of suffering, it is also full of overcoming it." There might be a Bible verse or another inspirational saying on the back side of that page. Then you come to the tab page. You flip that open, and the first page in every section is information about how to use this page. You'll also find some stress relievers, some little tips that will help make this an easier job for the caregiver. The last thing I want to do is stress out caregivers by making them fill out this notebook perfectly. There is no perfect way to fill it out. And then you'll come to the pages. I think you can maybe see those. I'll come up a little closer. And I'll go back. These are the actual pages that you will fill out as much as you need with information about yourself if you're creating this so that you have your own record, or for the person that you are caring for. And then at the end of each section, there is at least one blank page where you can write any notes that you want to write. Just so that if you're like me, the older I get, the harder it is to remember things, so I can put things down in that note page, reminders to me, you know, if we go to the doctor, things I need to do, or just anything else, maybe like where I keep my emergency packets, which we'll talk about more next week, whatever you want. So that's the structure of each section. And as I said, every Friday for the next several months, I'll be posting a new how-to. They will be permanently housed here, and as each week a new one is added, I'll try to add the links to all of them to the previous pages, so you should be able to navigate and find all the sections pretty easily. And then the idea isn't that you have to get everything done within that week. There's no homework involved, don't worry. I was a teacher for 25 years, but I'm not going to saddle you with homework. You can watch these episodes whenever you want and take as much time as you need to complete each section before moving on to the next episode and the next section of the book. So take your time, don't be stressed, make this work for you, don't make yourself work for it. Now, of course, if you don't already have a copy of the Caregiver's Notebook and you want to get one so you're ready for the next episode, or whenever you pick up your book, you can go back and look at the next episodes and the episodes following. You can buy this at bookstores. Christian bookstores carry it, as do other bookstores. If you just let them know what you're looking for and tell them my name, they should be able to order it if they don't have it in stock. You can also order it via Amazon. Just type in the Caregiver's Notebook and my name, and they have it on Amazon. You can also go to the publisher's website, which is www.dhp.org, and I have links to all of these down below the vlog that you're watching right now. If you want autographed copies, go to the top of the page here and find the tab that says Contact Me. And then you can send me an email if you'd like autographed copies with the information about who they're for and whatever, and I will send you more information and we'll work on getting those autographed copies mailed to you. Of course, I can't do it as cheaply as Amazon or some of the others, but they can't autograph copies for you either, so it's up to you. Now, if you don't want to order a notebook, that's fine. Again, you can go to that resource section that I told you about, and there will be links to downloadable forms where you can download forms and create your own 3-ring binder care notebook if you'd rather do it that way. It's totally up to you. I'm really not trying to make you buy the notebook. I just want to help you get more organized, because I remember how unorganized my mother was while she took care of my dad for many, many years, and how unorganized I was when our child with special needs was born, and how unorganized I feel sometimes now caring for my mom. And one of the first things I'm going to be doing along with you is filling out a book for myself and my husband, and one for my mother, which will stay at my brother's house, and as I mentioned before, will come to my house or my sister's house when Mom comes to visit us. So that's it for this week. If you have any questions, if there's something that you don't feel I covered very well, there is a comment section at the bottom of the page. You can leave your questions or your comments, and I will look at them and respond as quickly as I can. That's it for session 1 of how to fill out your caregiver's notebook. I hope you come back often as the new episodes are posted, and learn more about what you can do to be a more organized caregiver. See you again soon, I hope. Bye-bye.